How's it going, everybody? Tomorrow, extremely high watch day because it is October 2nd, which, when you spell it out, comes to Donald Trump in simple gematria, where A is 1 and Z is 26. It also happens to be when Charlie Brown came out, Ghost in the Machine came out, and when he said he had the illness in 2020, along with his wife. Just a coincidence. Hey, we've got it. And So this, I tell everybody that when they fire that coach, look out. What a gigantic cipher that is because there are seven kings, five are fallen. Well, he's about to be the fallen. And he is our seventh coach since, and of course, the seventh has to take the hit. And remember in The Devil's Advocate, they came and got him out of Gainesville, Florida, and said, "Go Gators" at the beginning of the movie. And we've been over this many times how all these schools are representative of different things in their esoteric world, like Alabama's Ghost in the Machine University. That's why they're the big winners. And how they used to call James Franklin, referred to him as Nicky Satan, and an old Gator assistant referred to Saban as the devil himself. And their big fraternity over there is called the Machine. And so they are Ghost in the Machine University. The horn blows when they score. It's the elephant cry, and an elephant makes what sound? A horn. And the horn is the name of the Antichrist in the book of Daniel. Just like Jesus said he would be here in his own name, and a trump is a horn, and a horn is a trump. So it's pretty basic stuff. So yeah, that's beast out of the sea symbolism right there because he represents the beast out of the sea or the Antichrist or the seventh king. Now, Spurrier was the beginning, and so five have fallen. Well, two have not fallen. Five of the seven have fallen. They were not sheep. And the way they do it in their football ritual is two were not fired, two were national champions. And that would be Spurrier and Urban Meyer. And so it says there's seven, five of the seven are fallen. And then it starts to detail the Antichrist as he is one that is, and then is not, and then is still to come. And then it goes on to say, then he is the eighth, but he's of the seven because it's twins. Why is there an eighth? It only talks about there's seven kings. And why is the eighth of the seven? Because it's a twin, which is what fell in NYC. And what rose back up? One World Trade Tower. So, I don't know. It's kind of a big deal. And what else? What else? What else? What else? Beast out of the sea symbolism, though. 100%. But I'm also looking big time at October 10th right now. That's day 283 of the year. That would have him rising on day 285. One World Trade Tower, which is what rose from the twins going down. Its address is 285. And the date is written 1010. And so a play on numbers. The Twin Towers were each 110 in height, 110. So I've been looking at other ciphers and it's pretty gigantic. Now, if you look at what's ahead of him are the twin gators right in front of him. So it's twin symbolism. just like the Pizza Hut commercial that had the twins, the Trump Pizza Hut commercial, Super Bowl 33, and they had the TV set with two different Donalds in it, and then off to the side was him again. So it was like three. So it's kind of a representation of the twins. And then what rose back up? One World Trade Tower. Let me find that for you. Compare and contrast. That's a Pizza Hut commercial. So you see the twins. That's him over there on the left. Follow my cursor, along with him in the box. So it's both twins. And then there's even, so it's like having the twins and then what rose back up, One World Trade Tower. So it's kind of like all three. So they sort of recast that mold in that you got the twins as they are both right there. And then off to the side is the other. I don't know. Satan felt like lightning. So you got the lightning bolt in there. But definitely, as the Antichrist is the beast out of the sea. And that's why the gators, because yes, alligators swim in salt water. So do crocodiles. So it's beast out of the sea symbolism, as Jaws was. So anyway, um, October 2nd, very high watch. October 10th, October 15th, October 26th. Um, yeah, and then I would say November 1st, since when World Trade Tower opened November 3rd. And then I like that 9/11 or, no, or November 11th, because November was once the ninth month, like October, Octagon, Octopus was once the eighth. December, decade, decameter, sets of 10. December was once 10th month. September once the seventh month. So that was really about, and most countries write the date backwards. So it was really about Revelation 11:7, beast rising from the pit, and what rose up? One World Trade Tower. So fascinating. And let's get on with tonight's Bible study. Hang on just a quick second. Trump's descent down the escalator representing the death to October 2nd tomorrow is 3761. 761 is the amount of verses in Daniel and Revelation. And yes, they have coded that for us in the Dark Knight. And Madonna's Like a Prayer to tomorrow has your Revelation 13:3 code, 13:344. So Revelation is 404 verses. So it's basically saying Revelation 13:3, first time deadly wound is mentioned in the book of Revelation. And the album, one's the album, one's the song. So the other one is 13:362, and Revelation is 602 in Strong's Concordance. So, and there was a website that was playing a lot of Like a Prayer, showing a lot of stuff. And why was Like a Prayer nonstop in these videos? They were using Madonna's Like a Prayer, which she also sang at the 2012 uh, halftime show that she was the star of. So that's a big deal. Very big deal. By the way, it's also a direct hit for Dr. Pepper 1024 and down on 10:2, up on 10:4. Satan possessing the body, as we've been over many times. The first one to receive the mark. He in hiding, Satan possessing the body will be running World War III. Because when he seemingly returned from the dead, who can make war with beast? Um, where he has seemingly risen from the dead, but it was a body double trick, unlike Jesus, who really rose from the dead. This will be, but the earth will be so supernatural. They'll be deceiving the nations like crazy. Anyway, hang on just one more second. Let me get the Bible study going. And Alec Baldwin's always playing him. Even did the SNL where he said we're having a Donnie Darko moment on SNL. Let me find that one for you. So here it goes.
And one more thing.
And so Donnie Darko. Does anybody else see this rabbit?
Does anyone else see this rabbit? Okay.
And of course, the flag always represents him. That's his birthday.
I'm not the only one who sees that rabbit, right?
And he says, I think I'm having a Donnie Darko moment.
And it's wearing glasses. Is that?
Well, it's coming up here in just a second.
I think
Fair use for educational
this
purposes.
might be a Donnie Darko situation.
A Donnie Darko situation. So there you go. Let me turn my speakers around so you can hear it, just in case you couldn't.
Right? And it's wearing black. And one more thing. Does anyone else see?
Where was it?
And it's wearing glasses. Is that real? Okay. I think this might be a Donnie Darko situation. Glasses. Is that real? Okay. I think this might be a Donnie Darko situation. Real? Okay. I think this might be a Donnie Darko situation.
And Donnie Darko, of course, October 2nd. So tomorrow's a very high watch day. What else did I want to show you? Let's get on with tonight's Bible study. And there we go. There we go. So it's Revelation 20. We're going to get into judgment. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. We went over whether it's a literal 1,000 years or not in pretty good detail. I believe it was yesterday. And cast him to the bottomless pit. Yesterday's study, very important. You should be watching all of these from the playlist, though, very beginning to the very end of the Revelation playlist. And bound him 1,000 years. And cast him into the bottomless pit. And shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. After that, he must be, let loose for a little season, and that will be judgment. And there's judgment in the next verse. And I saw the thrones, and they, which is all the battle of Armageddon is, it's judgment. The flame comes down and devours them. That'll be in verse 9. In the Thursday study, if we are able to get to it, good Lord willing. Hang on just a second. Phone call. By the way, when you spell out October 10th, Build Back Better, Shelley, Rocky, A Star is Born, Dark Knight Rises, Nostradamus, and John F. Kennedy. Anyway, let's continue. So you see judgment. And I saw the thrones that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And please see yesterday's study at the very least, even though you should be watching this on the playlist. Let me double check volume. We're good. And judgment was given unto them. So, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon the thrones, and judgment was given to them that sat upon the thrones. And now it's going to go into those that were killed for during the Great Tribulation, which is what this book's all about, the final act, the cleansing of the bride, and then the whole church being redeemed. I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, in which had not received or worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received the mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. Semicolon. End of sentence. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years, as did the beginning. Those, and judgment was given to them. That's the whole church. And then there's a colon, then it goes into those just took place in the Great Tribulation, because then it's going to go and talk about all the goats. That's how you know this was about the whole church. But the rest of the dead live not again until 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he, which would be the sheep, male or female, that have part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. So the 1,000 years is for the whole church. When the 1,000 years were expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, comma, end of verse. Let's move over to John 4, 21 through 32. Jesus saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. The woman saith unto him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ, and when he cometh, he will tell us all things. Jesus saith unto her, That I speak unto thee am he. And upon this came his disciples, and marveled that he was talking to the woman. Yet no man said, What seekest thou? Or why are you talking to her? Them obviously knowing she's a Samaritan. The woman then left her water pot and went her way into the city, and saith to men, Come, see a man which told me all things, whichever I did. Is not this the Christ? So she was a sheep. She received her spiritual baptism. Then they went out into the city and came unto him. In the mean, while his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. But he said unto them, I have meat to eat that ye know not of. So we're talking about the water in yesterday's study, and now the food in the symbolic form. The living water, the living meal. I'm glad you're here. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.